Remember, every revolution begins with a question, every system with doubt. This is Satoshi's mirror, where we trace the evolution of belief itself. Some reflections show us the past, some reveal the present, and some show us what we're becoming. There is a moment in every system's life when it stops serving the people and begins serving itself. The banks forget they are tools. The money forgets it was meant to represent value and begins to believe it is the value. 2008. The air smells like rain and failure. Across every continent, people stand in lines that shouldn't exist. Lines at banks to withdraw their own money. Lines to explain why they can't pay. Lines that form when trust breaks and chaos rushes in to fill the space. A woman in Ohio opens an envelope. Inside, a single page tells her the house she's lived in for 12 years no longer belongs to her. She reads it 3 times, as if reading it again might change what it says. It doesn't change. It never does. In Iceland, banks have grown so large they dwarf the entire economy. When they collapse, they take everything. A teacher realizes his pension, 30 years of saving, is gone. Simply gone. Evaporated like water on hot stone. The headlines repeat the same words: bailout, stimulus, rescue. Governments print money that didn't exist yesterday to save institutions that shouldn't exist tomorrow. The logic is circular, dizzying, deliberate. But some people begin to question it, quietly, in the privacy of their own minds. They wonder if the problem isn't just the people running the system, but the system itself. If money that can be created from nothing, inflated at will, controlled by the few, if that's even money at all. In that wondering, something new becomes possible. October 31st, 2008. While children dress as ghosts and knock on doors, a different kind of ghost appears on the internet, one that will haunt central banks for decades to come. A message arrives on a cryptography mailing list. The message is short, almost shy. I've been working on a new electronic cash system that's fully peer-to-peer, with no trusted third party. Attached is a 9-page document describing a way to send value across the internet, without banks, without intermediaries, without anyone's permission. The author signs it, Satoshi Nakamoto. No photo, no biography, no credentials, just an idea, released into a world that's just watched every major financial institution prove they can't be trusted. Most people ignore it. They've seen digital currency proposals fail before. Money requires institutions, regulations, oversight. You can't just build new money, can you? But a handful read those 9 pages carefully. They see not a fantasy, but a blueprint, not a promise, but a proof. The mathematics are elegant, precise, unforgiving. Either this works, or the universe itself is lying. One reader is Hal Finney, a cryptographer who spent his life thinking about privacy, about how individuals can protect themselves in a world of powerful institutions. He reads Satoshi's paper 3 times, savoring it like poetry. He understands what he's looking at. Not just code, but philosophy made executable. Not just currency, but freedom given form. Weeks pass. The world spins through its crisis. And then, quietly, while no one is watching, something is born. January 3rd, 2009. Somewhere, we'll never know where, a computer solves a mathematical puzzle that serves no purpose, except to prove that work was done, that something of value was created through effort. Block 0, the Genesis block, the first heartbeat. Inside this block, Satoshi leaves a message. The Times, 03, January 2009. Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. It's a declaration. While the old system prints money to save itself, a new system is born that cannot be printed, cannot be inflated, cannot be controlled by anyone. The network is live. One computer, one node, one tiny light in the darkness. But light has a way of spreading. Days pass. More computers join, each one becoming part of something larger than itself. They don't ask permission. They simply participate. Hal Finney is one of the first. He downloads Bitcoin, runs it on his home computer. The machine hums with purpose, solving puzzles, securing blocks. He exchanges emails with Satoshi, technical discussions, bug reports, thoughts about the future. Two minds building something together that neither could build alone. And then, history crystallizes. Satoshi sends Hal 10 bitcoins, the first transaction between two people. The coins are worth nothing in dollars, yet they're priceless. They prove the system works. Value has moved through space without asking anyone's permission. Hal replies simply, "Running Bitcoin." Two words that will be remembered long after novels are forgotten. Others begin to arrive. A programmer in Finland, a student in London, an engineer in California. Each one joins not for profit. There is no profit yet, but for possibility. Someone makes the first purchase. 10,000 bitcoins for 2 pizzas. Later, people will calculate what those pizzas cost. Millions. But in that moment, they prove that this digital abstraction can touch the physical world, can become real. Forums spring up. People discuss, debate, imagine. The questions multiply faster than answers, but that's how all movements begin. With more questions than certainty, more hope than proof. And through it all, Satoshi is there. Answering questions, fixing bugs, explaining the vision. They never reveal who they are, where they are. Just that they are, and it matters. Until suddenly, they're not. Somewhere between late 2010 and early 2011, Satoshi Nakamoto posts for the last time. No announcement, no farewell. They simply stop, vanishing from the public space they'd inhabited for 2 years. The network continues without them. The code runs without its creator. The system proves what it claimed, that it needs no center, no leader, no single point of failure. Years pass. The price rises and crashes and rises again. Governments ban it and embrace it. Fortunes are made and lost. The world argues about what Bitcoin is: currency, commodity, revolution, fraud. But none of that changes what happened in those early days. What a handful of people proved when they believed in something that didn't yet exist. They proved that trust can be built from mathematics, that systems can exist without masters, that sometimes the answer to who's in charge can be no one, and that can be enough. A spark was lit. Small, fragile, easily extinguished. But it wasn't extinguished. It was tended by believers who asked for nothing except the chance to participate in something larger than themselves. The mirror shows us what we brought to it. Some saw greed, others saw freedom. Some saw chaos. Others saw order emerging from mathematics rather than imposed by force. The mirror doesn't judge. It only reflects. And in that reflection, a question forms that can never be unasked. If money can be reinvented, what else can be? If trust can be replaced by proof, what other systems are we accepting simply because we've forgotten to imagine alternatives? The spark becomes a flame. The flame, in time, becomes a fire. Whether it illuminates or consumes depends entirely on what we feed it, what we build with it, what we choose to see in its light. One story ends. Another begins. And between them, we stand watching the reflection change, wondering which version of ourselves will become. Every reflection reveals a deeper truth. Subscribe to continue this journey, because the most important reflection isn't where we've been, it's what we're becoming.